I just never forget them saying, well, it's really hard to buy a company if you don't know it's for sale.
I would say the next generation of entrepreneur, whether it's folks that are, raising their first round of venture funding, whether it's folks that are, in big tech and they're thinking about leaving, kids in college that are wondering, how do I build this idea that I have, as well as, early stage investors, first time fund managers, really generally the overall tech ecosystem. So who's going to be leading the tech industry in the next 10 years? That's who we're speaking to.
Are there any sections of or like phases of building a brand or finding funding or whatever it might be that you feel like most young founders are struggling with right now, or like topics on the podcast that you think are most important for them to be learning in today's day and age?
Definitely think this has been a really hard fundraising environment, honestly, both for the investors, the LP market is very locked up, but also for the end founder. Even if you are an AI company, I think what people aren't talking about is like, if you're not selling a big enough vision, you're still hearing a lot of no's. And in a zero interest rate environment, it was probably easier than working a day job to start a company.
I think to add to that, because fundraising is not as easy as it was, a lot of companies are thinking through sort of their existential next steps. And so a lot of my founder friends are starting to think through, okay, do we want to get acquired? And I think there's a lot that happens behind closed doors that people never really talk transparently about.
And I just never forget them saying, well, it's really hard to buy a company if you don't know it's for sale, because you don't want to say, hi, like I'm for sale, but you do need to let a few people know that with the right price and the right alignment, you would be willing. And so to your point, that's a little bit where I think these first time founders are asking, what's an M&A process look like? How do I let the right people know I'm for sale?